Hello, this is going to be a video explaining how to edit meetings in the BMLT server 4.0. I'm going to be using the New England regional server as an example and the Boston area login. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is go to nrna.org/BMLT, and that will take me to the login page. At which point I would go ahead and type in my username and the password and log in. And you can see this says welcome to the Boston ASC. So if I click on service bodies or users, I won't see anything because the Boston area doesn't have any service bodies under it. It is so basically I'm just going to go into meetings. And this will actually list all of the meetings that are in the Boston area. If I want to filter, I could filter by day and show only meetings on Sunday or only meetings on Tuesday, etc., etc. But for now, I'm going to select all the days and view all the meetings. Similarly, there's published or unpublished. I can quickly look and see the meetings that are highlighted in yellow are unpublished. So if I only want to see unpublished, they might be unpublished because for various reasons. That's a whole nother issue. But if I only want to search for published meetings, I can select published. If I only want to search for unpublished, I can select unpublished. Since there's a lot, I'm guessing that these were a bunch of meetings that closed during COVID and never reopened, but they were just unpublished in the server just in case they ever came back. So I will leave that. And then again, similarly, I can filter also on times. I can even, if I wanted to specifically search for one, like show me all meetings with recovery in the name, I could go ahead and start typing in there. And get further and specific. So first we will go through the process of editing a meeting. Let's say we needed to edit the end of the line meeting here in Jamaica Plain. And again, I'm just using this as an example. If we click on that, this opens up the specific meeting information. So you'll see there's 4 tabs up here: basic information, the location, other, and then changes. The basic information is the name, the day, the time, the duration of the meeting, the service body, the formats of the meeting, and whether or not it's published or not, which you can see that this is published. So it will display on the website and it will display in printed meeting lists. That's what published means. On the location tab, we have whether or not the venue type is in-person, virtual, or hybrid. We have to choose one of those. The location map will allow you to zoom in and see exactly where it is. And if there's a specific entry point of the building, it's a large or something that's confusing about where it is, you can actually zoom right in and move the pin to be exactly where somebody should enter, although most people don't really use that information, my experience. So you don't need to enter the longitude or latitude. That'll happen automatically. Location text, extra info. Location text is usually the name of the facility. The extra info is usually where in the facility the meeting is, whether it's the basement in this case or the 3rd floor, or it could even be in the rectory next to the main church or something along those lines. The address, obviously, city, town, and county. I don't believe we need to put in this county. I believe that's automatically filled in when we save the information, and the same thing for zip code. I could be wrong on that. I will double check that though. The phone meeting dial-in, the virtual meeting link, and virtual meeting additional information are obviously if this was either virtual or hybrid. So if I were to pick virtual, then then I would have to have this information in here when I saved it. Because it's in person, I'm allowed to not have these fields filled. And then the other tab is for comments. This would be if there was specific comments about the meeting itself, not the location, the meeting itself. Something like there's a speaker on the fourth Sunday of the month, or the meeting does a round robin, or something. Bus lines is obviously bus lines. Train lines is obviously the T. In this case, we're around Boston, so I'm going to put orange line. That was an old format that was there. So I'm actually going to change this. This is good. There's information for contact people here. This is mostly not used so much. But it can be if there's like long-standing person that is always the person to contact. This information does not show up on the website or the meeting search. It only shows up for somebody that's actually logged into the BMLT server, would see this. And then the changes tab, again, this is previous changes to the meeting information. We can see the last time this meeting was changed was in June of 2021, and it was changed from a virtual meeting back to in person. It looks like that's kind of what I'm seeing here. So I did actually make one little change there to the train lines. So once you've done editing it, the World Committee code you don't ever have to enter. The email is probably never going to be used as well. Most meetings don't have email addresses, but in the case of some virtual ones, it is possible that there might be an email address for somebody to email in an attendance card or something. Anyway, that's enough on that. If once you're all done, you can just apply the changes, and that's it. So if I go back into this and look at changes now, I can see that email contact was, I didn't even click in there, did I? That's interesting. But train lines was changed from that to just the orange line. One thing I will note, if you are creating a new meeting, let me actually close this and go back. If you're going to add a new meeting, you would click on add meeting there at the top like I just did. And you would have to enter everything. Time zone, you don't need to. It says leave blank to auto detect from location, so that's fine. What I will suggest is if the meeting is at a facility that's already in use, like the end of the line group here, if there's another meeting at the same facility that's a new meeting that you're adding, you can actually click save this meeting as a copy, and it'll save it as a new meeting, and then you can go into that new meeting. You can actually change the name of it right here, change the name, change the day and the time, and get rid of the World Committee code. You got to be careful with that. You'd want to get rid of the World Committee code. The formats. I didn't show you on the formats actually. So the formats, if you click in here, there is a drop down. You can scroll through and pick the proper format. If it's let's say there's a timer now because it's become a large meeting and too many people were sharing long, that you can just add the timer or whatever. So, or you can click on the little X's here to get rid of one of those. But again, if you're creating a new meeting, you can just go ahead and in the same location change everything that needs to be changed about it. Obviously, if the location is the same, you leave all of that, and again, and then you could save it as a copy, and it will create a new meeting. So that's a really handy tool if you're starting a meeting in a new one. Let me look through. I have a document that I'm looking at just to verify, to make sure that, yeah, that's it. Pretty much that's all the instructions. So hopefully that does it. And thanks for watching.